What's up, everyone? Today on Miles of Bacon Games, we're diving into the open beta that recently took place for the finals. A few notes before we start: I didn't play the closed beta, so I won't be commenting on that, only on my experience from the recent open beta. Note that nothing shown here is representative of the final build, and finally, content from this review is a mix of my own footage captured on PS5 and B-roll provided to me by Embark Studios. So with that out of the way, let's get into it. So if you're unfamiliar with what the finals is, it's a competitive online multiplayer shooter where you compete in a competition game show in game modes that in one way or another involve you working with your team to extract and deposit cash objectives. Whoever reaches the match total first, or whoever has the most deposited by the end of the match, wins. During my hands-on experience, I honestly loved most of what I played and saw. There are some things that I personally would love to see worked on, but overall, there's a lot to love here, starting with the combat system. So right off the bat, when I lost my first shootout, I thought, these guns are really a bit unforgiving. But as I played more, I came to really appreciate the design choice to make these guns a challenge to use. And I don't mean that they're inherently flawed in how they're designed, it's just a challenge in the sense that you need to use all of your skill and concentration if you want to win the fight. It takes skill to master these weapons, making it feel really good when you finally take that enemy down. Unfortunately though, I didn't feel quite as enthused about melee combat. To be clear, the melee weapons are really effective as they do a lot of damage really quickly. But with something like the sledgehammer, for example, I didn't really feel the impact that you would hope to feel when hitting someone with a big giant hammer. Regardless, I really hope this gets tweaked because I'm really excited about the prospect of using melee weapons in a game like this. Teamwork. Man, teamwork is a really great aspect of this game. You won't be successful pursuing any objective or winning a match for that matter if you aren't actively working and strategizing with your team to do so. Whether it's working together to close a cash out or working together just to stay alive, I had the most fun when I was doing it with my team. The game really rewards you for it too, pretty generously, by giving you points for whatever you can do to help out your teammates. When it comes to level and map design, it really can't be overstated just how well they've been crafted. You've got server-side destruction, which allows every player to experience the same level of destruction at all times, not to mention that said destruction is really just out of this world. You've got traversal tools like zip lines, retractable bridges, and jumper pads that make these maps feel like playgrounds, and you've got an art direction and color palette that truly pop and work really well to immerse you in the experience that it's putting forward. The only thing I could really ask for are more unique location types to help differentiate the gameplay experience in each map. Honestly, this is just a nitpick, especially given that this was an open beta. Nonetheless, this left me wanting more in the best way possible. Speaking of immersion, I really like the idea to add in-game commentary. Scotty and June, the in-game commentators, really help drive home that competition game show experience that the finals creates. They're also a bit quirky, which gives a bit of style to the game itself. At times, though, their awkward banter and back and forth were a bit distracting during gameplay. Embark Studios have said that they use a combination of real voice acting and text-to-speech technology for this, and also note that it isn't their end goal to make games without real voice actors. So hopefully this means real voice actors will be brought in to carry the role, because if done right, it can knock the style that the finals is going for out of the park. Regarding performance, I'm pretty happy to report that everything ran pretty smoothly. I did experience one hard crash and 2 server timeouts, but these weren't really a huge deal in the grand scheme of things. Embark Studios did, however, release a number of patches throughout the open beta to address other issues related to UI, bugs, crashes, and more. But overall, everything was pretty solid. So yeah, right now the finals is really nailing it. According to the game's Twitter account, 7.5 million people took part in this open beta, so the hype is definitely there for this one. The gunplay, destructibility, art design, and core gameplay ideas are knocking it out of the park. And despite map variety, melee combat, and in-game commentary needing some tweaks in my opinion, the experience as a whole was phenomenal. So with that said, the finals is absolutely a game you should keep an eye out on for its final release. If you want more details on my thoughts regarding the finals open beta, visit MylesOfBaconGames.com for my full preview, and I'll leave a link to that in the description below. You can also follow me on Twitter at MylesOfGames and on Instagram at MylesOfBaconGames for daily content. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.